we need to do our part to make sure that all kids are reading at grade level, especially when you come out of third grade.
Especially those that have been historically underserved, that those students have an opportunity to be successful.
It's pretty clear that if you can read at your level by third grade, it's a great indicator of future success.
Children come to school in kindergarten, and I think there's an old paradigm that had us thinking something magical happened in kindergarten for children in terms of their ability to read. We now know that that is in fact not the case.
We really believe that this campaign and other campaigns across the country will only succeed not just at systems reform at the federal and state level, but getting it down to communities where it really happens.
Our goal is to think about improving the health, social, emotional, and cognitive outcomes for children birth through third grade.
We're 49th in the nation on the number of citizens that have a college degree in the state of Arkansas, and that's a 4-year degree. And we're 46th in the nation in 2010 with those with the 2-year degree. If we aren't able to get our young people to read, to value reading, to read well, we will continue to be 49th and 46th in the nation respectively on post-secondary credentials.
In the fall of 2008, the New York City Department of Education put out a report that they do every year, the progress report, and they reported that they had a 92.6% average daily attendance rate throughout the city for elementary school. Looking at the same data set, the new school found that actually 1 in 5 of those kids missed a month or more of school. And when you think about the scale of New York City, that's 90,000 kids who missed a month or more of school that year.
The reality is that attendance matters a tremendous amount, much more than we ever realized, even starting as early as kindergarten.
The problem is clear about summer learning loss, and we have evidence of promising solutions. But despite the growth of national organizations like Horizons and Bell and many high-quality programs across the country, there is still unmet demand of dramatic proportions.
Only 25%, maybe 30% at best, of these at-risk kids are going to meet state reading benchmarks in the next 2 years. Now, that's just not acceptable.
The solution, like with so many businesses, so many different efforts, is not one idea or one implementation, but aggregating what we know and then using that in a coordinated basis.
Like you all, Target believes that every student deserves a quality education regardless of race or class. That's why we are giving $500 million to education by the end of 2015, bringing our total commitment to education to date to more than $1 billion.
A few companies that you may have heard of, Twitter, Facebook, Google, Microsoft, Intel, a number of those companies, that is who I work with on policy issues. We will know that we've been successful with our policy issues if every boy and girl sitting in a classroom has both the capacity and the opportunity to work in one of these companies, run one of these companies, or start their own.
There's no one stakeholder who has all of the answers. It's not just about the schools. It's not just about the parents. It's about communities, it's about families, it's about schools, it's about sort of the community organizations, it's about political leadership. And so this work to really try to bridge across the different silos that exist is one that's very well aligned with what we believe philanthropy can do best if it wants to achieve impact.
I would consider it an unbelievable success if we had people realizing that where they ought to be spending the money is not on prison and incarceration, but on the front end for children birth through 18 in opportunity-based programs.
Success for me would be like many, many more children who love to go to school, who are reading at home as well as in the classroom, teachers that have an easier time teaching because more kids are caught up, and fourth grade teachers who feel like eureka. They're getting children who are prepared and can come be successful instead of so many kids who are already so far behind.
85% of poor children not reading at proficiency. Until we get to 100% of kids reading proficiently at the end of third grade, we won't have one.
There is no issue that is more important in our pipeline. We know it. The research shows it to us over and over again, that if we don't actually get our kids reading by third grade, it makes everything every single thing in the educational process more difficult.
This group coming together to lead this effort, I think has huge implications for the country. So Ralph, I thank you for your leadership.